Good morning, dear students, and today's lesson is Grammar 10A. So let's get started. Let's read the three objectives. 1. Identify the differences between the direct speech and the reported speech in context. 2. Change sentences from direct speech to reported speech. And 3. Rewrite sentences using the reported speech accurately. Now please have a look at the following sentence. Let's read it. So here we have Nibbles, the little mouse, and Jerry, the bigger mouse. Look at what Nibbles said. He said, I found cheese. Alright? Now, after some seconds, Jerry goes to Tom and reports what Nibbles said. Imagine how to report the sentence. So, what would Jerry say to Tom? Alright, so that is the answer. Nibble said that he had found cheese. So what did we do here? We changed found with had found. So when do we use the reported speech? We use the reported speech when we want to report the meaning of what someone said. Let's study the following sentence. I was in London last summer. How can we report the following? Alright, so we can say, he said that he had been in London the previous summer. So what did we change? We changed I with he, and these are pronouns. We also changed was with had been, and these are tenses. Finally, we changed last summer with the previous summer, and these are time expressions. So pronouns, tenses, time expressions, most of the time they change when we report sentences. Okay, dear students, please open your students' books on page 126. And let's start with activity A. Read the examples of direct speech from the text and notice how they have changed in reported speech. Then complete the table and answer the questions. Let's study example number 1. You have hurt me. In the reported speech, the girl told the man that he had hurt her. So we changed you with he, have hurt with had hurt, and me with her. In example 2, I guess you will see her before long. In the reported speech, the man told the girl she would see her mother before long. So we changed I with she, will with would. In the last example, no, there isn't anything to eat, dearie. In the reported speech, the man said that there wasn't anything to eat. So we changed isn't with wasn't. Now have a look at the following table. I'm going to give you some seconds and you are going to tell me what are the changes that we have made. Alright, so according to the following table, the present simple should change into which tense? Look at example number 3. Isn't becomes wasn't. So what tense is wasn't? Very good. So that is the past simple. Okay, we also change present progressive into past progressive, past simple into past perfect simple. Now what about the present perfect simple? In which sentence do we have the present perfect simple? That's in sentence number 1. Very good. So have hurt becomes had hurt, which is in the past perfect. Very good. Now what about will? In sentence 2 we have will in the blue color. It changed into would. So we always change will with would in the reported speech. And we have also other modal verbs. Can becomes could, may becomes might, and must becomes had to. I hope these changes are clear for you because we are going to see other changes too. Now, which words change in reported speech? So please refer to the grammar reference pages 144 and 145. Have some time to read them. Look at the major changes. We have the tenses here. We also have modal verbs. Another thing that should change in the reported speech, which is the time expressions. For example, let's have a look at the following. Now becomes then. Ago becomes before in the reported speech. Today also becomes that day. Tonight becomes that night, and yesterday becomes the previous day. Tomorrow becomes the following day. Last week becomes the previous week, and next week becomes the following week. So, tenses, modal verbs, personal pronouns, possessive adjectives, and some expressions of time change in reported speech. Try to remember that because we are going to move on to some practice. Now, dear students, open the student book on page 126 and we have activity B. Complete the sentences using reported speech. So you will be having 4 sentences and you are going to change them by completing the following sentence. For example, in number 1, you are going to use Tony said and complete the rest of the sentence in the reported speech. In example 2 also, we have Hessa told, you have to complete it. In number 3, the same, Diana informed us. And in number 4, Tariq told, and you have to complete the sentence. And we will be back after some seconds, so please pause the video. Alright, so how did you change number 1? What did you notice? Which things we have to change? Good. We have to change pronouns, tenses, time expressions, and modals. So in sentence 1, how did you report it? Very good. Tony said he might go and visit his uncle the following week. So here we changed I with he, may with might, the modal verb, my with his, and next week with the following week, the time expression. Very good. Example number 2. Hessa told, very good, told me that she hadn't seen that documentary yet. And here we changed I with she, haven't seen with had seen, so present perfect into the past perfect. Alright. Example number 3. How did you change it? Excellent. Diana informed us that she didn't know what time she would be home that evening. What are the changes that you have made? Very good. So I changed into she. Don't know becomes didn't know. I becomes she. Will becomes would. And this evening becomes that evening. Very good. Now what about the last one? How did Tariq report the speech of the first one? Okay, so Tariq told Musa that Hamad was thinking of taking up a new hobby. What are the changes that you have made? Very good. So is thinking, the present progressive becomes was thinking past progressive. Very good. Now, dear students, open your workbook on page 111 and we are going to have some practice also. So in activity B, you are going to rewrite the sentences using reported speech. So we are going to have some help in the beginning. Dad said for sentence 1, Ted told Karim for sentence 2, and the teacher told us for sentence 3, and the other sentences also. So please pause the video and we will be back. Alright, let's start with sentence number 1. How did you report it? Very good. Dad said that the boys had football practice twice a week. What did you change here? Very good. Have becomes had. Present simple becomes past simple. Example number 2. We have visited the Doha Corniche twice so far. Ted told Karim. And we are going to start with Ted told Karim. So how did you change it? Very good. Ted told Karim that they had visited the Doha Corniche twice so far. What did you change here? Excellent. You changed we into they, have visited into had visited, so present perfect becomes past perfect. Do we have any other change? No, that's all. Now the last one. You won't finish the test on time if you don't hurry, the teacher told us. And we are going to start with the teacher told us. So how did you change? Very good. The teacher told us that we wouldn't finish the test on time if we didn't hurry. So what are the changes that you did? Very good. So you becomes we, won't becomes wouldn't, the modal verbs. What else? You becomes we, and finally don't becomes didn't. So the present simple don't hurry becomes past simple didn't hurry. All right. Let's carry on with examples 4, 5, and 6. So number 4, you can have some cake after dinner, kids, Mom said. So how did you report in starting with Mom told the kids? Excellent. Mom told the kids that they could have some cake after dinner. So what are the two changes that you have made? Very good. So here we have you becomes they, the pronouns, and can becomes could, the modal verbs. In example number 5, Afaf is talking on the phone at the moment, Aisha said. So how did you report it? Starting by Aisha explained. Very good. So Aisha explained that Afaf was talking on the phone at that moment. Now, what did you change? Very good. So we changed is talking, the present progressive, into was talking, the past progressive. What else? Very good. Be careful here. At the moment means at this moment. And this should become that in any case. So at the moment becomes at that moment. And these are time expressions. All right, what about the last example? I watched a fascinating camel race during my trip to Qatar, Liam said. And we are going to start with Liam said, so we didn't change the reporting verb. So Liam said, excellent, that he had watched a fascinating camel race during his trip to Qatar. So what are the changes that you have made? Very good. We changed I with he, watched with had watched, and these are the tenses. The first one in the past simple, the second one in the past perfect. What else? Very good. So my trip becomes his trip. Now, dear students, I hope you understood how to change a sentence from the direct speech into the reported speech. In the next lesson, we are going to have some other practice of the reported speech. See you next time.